Hi, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu. However, Robin won't be here today. She was called out on an emergency. So we just want to say we wish you all the best. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Robin. But I know that you wanted to share these healthy habits. So let me get started. Robin was gracious enough to send us some healthy habits. And I want to share two of them about helping us to live longer. And we can start these at home. They don't cost us anything, and they'll help us to stay on track with our health. Whether you're working out, um, is something you look forward to, or something that you really don't want to do, you probably can't deny the exercise. It just makes you feel better after you've done it, right? Um, but staying active doesn't just begin and end with 30 minutes of weights and push-ups and running or jogging um, that you tend to dedicate to what we call a workout. It also means, hey, we need to reduce the amount of time that we're sitting all day. You can't and probably shouldn't exercise all day, but you can make an effort to stay active throughout the day while you're still getting your work done. Here are a few ways to move more and sit less. And I just want to start with this. Start by parking in the back of the parking lot. Get more steps in. Start taking 5-minute walks. When we say we're going to walk, we usually say, oh, I'm going to walk 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Let's just start with 5. And then 5 more later and 5 in the evening. That's 15 minutes a day. Um, Use a standing desk. This is something that my partner, Francine Gregory, does on a regular basis. Um, and then sort of move your computer around from side to side so that you are standing over here and then you take a stand over there. I'm not saying shift it back and forth. I'm just saying, sort of move it around so that you may have to actually get up and go to the other side of the desk or to the other edge of the desk, but it would require you to stand. Take the steps instead of the elevator. Even if okay, now if you work on the 20th floor, I'm not asking you to walk to the 20th floor. I'm saying if you if you let's say you work on the 20th floor, maybe you take the steps to the second floor and then work your way up to maybe the third floor, etc. And see what you're able to do over a period of time. The main thing I want you to do is be gradual so that you'll be consistent. Walk to nearby stores, walk to nearby restaurants, get these steps in and try to move more and to sit less. So that's our healthy habit today. I'm Terralina from BizChicks, and I want to introduce our guest. Our guest is the person that we like to call the stress whisperer. Mhm. Uh, she is using her soothing voice and calm vibe to help people pause, calm their chaos, refocus, and remember their potential. She offers down to earth, accessible practices for everyday life. We want to welcome to the studio Miss Jill Winston. Good morning, Jill. How are you?
Good morning, Terralina. I am fine. And a shout out to Robin, who is usually here because you ladies have been amazing in the start of my business almost 8, 9 years ago. So I'm very happy to be
Has
here.
it been that long, Jill?
Uh,
Wow.
about 12 years overall. And I think I've known the Biz Chicks for, I'm going to say, a good 8 years.
A
Yes.
good one. Yeah, it's been a minute. Wow. I'm so happy to have been able to just help in any way that we can to help you run that profitable business that's fun to run. You want to tell people a little bit about where you're actually at
Yes.
today? You can if you want to share.
Yes. So my business is called Breathing Space, and
Mhm.
part of the adventure that I'm on right now is creating breathing space for myself as well as other people. So you can see my surroundings are not the normal surroundings that I have. I was saying to Terry, I'm in a closet with cement walls behind me in Mexico. Not that I'm in prison, because that's what it sounds like, but I reference that because a lot of times I really like nice surroundings, or I might have
Mhm.
flowers, or I have a pretty background behind me. But my walls are cement, so we don't have, in my house here, I don't have drywall, which would be an easy way to just put in push pins and put up something behind me. So I'm in Mexico on an adventure,
Mhm.
and that led to me and Terry talking this morning about literally the meditation that I'm going to lead. And many times we have a lot of fears about doing something that is good for ourselves. We have some fears or hesitation about self-care. So for me, sometimes you think self-care is like, well, it's a massage. I don't have time for that. Um, Self-care could be flowers, and people say, oh, I shouldn't buy myself flowers, even though there's a famous song now about that. And for me, my adventure to Mexico is literally self-care. I was very happy where I was in California,
Mhm.
but starting to feel like a little something was missing, maybe feeling that I was not expanding my potential as much as I wanted to. And some things happened when I came to visit, and I had this sense of, I feel like I'm really going to flourish in this particular city in Mexico. And
Mhm.
I thought I'm going to, learning a new language would be good for me. This is a very peaceful place where people have so much compassion for you. I will actually love to come back on BizChicks and just talk about my experience here, because it's
Yes.
been a healthy habit. So
Wow.
I think self-care, it's not the typical things you always think of, and it is not always looking at someone else's life or
Mm.
someone else's Instagram and go, "Oh, that's the self-care I should be doing." So, yeah,
Mm.
I'm sitting here in a closet with cement walls behind me, and working on a way to figure out how to get a little color in the room that I'm in and figure out my lighting. But for me, it doesn't matter. I was invited to be on the show. I want to be here today. And so my self-care is knowing that what I'm going to offer, the meditation that I'm going to offer, is much more important than what the room looks like, if the lighting is perfect.
Exactly.
Um, you were saying, you might have family walk in the middle of the broadcast, and we both said, BizChicks and the people you have on in our community, we're about reality in real life. So
Mhm.
yes, it'd be nice to be in a beautiful studio with proper lighting and maybe not have a baby come in the room, but you love your new grandchild. And we're
Yes.
about, we said, making room for people we love, making room for life and
Mhm.
self-care. So it's really think about your definition of self-care, and
Mm.
don't get caught up in what you see from other people. Take inspiration, but self-care can be a wide variety of things.
Oh, I'm so glad you spoke to that because I think a lot of times people feel that if they haven't, you know, kitted out their bathroom so that they can just be in there for 4 hours or turn it into a personal spa, that they haven't achieved self-care. And, sometimes self-care is just learning to say no to some things.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. So Jill, what do you have for us today?
Sure. Today we're going to focus on, not just because it's Valentine's Day, but we're going to
Mhm.
focus on heart care. And I'm going to lead a short guided meditation, a little introspection about that. And there's lots of things that I want to offer. When I think about Valentine's Day, it's not always a happy day for people. And
Mhm.
kind of as I shared before, it's that reminder that you're supposed to do Valentine's Day a certain way. You're supposed to feel a certain way on Valentine's Day. For me, when I think of Valentine's Day, especially yesterday, um, it just came to mind to offer a heart care meditation. So whether you celebrated Valentine's Day, however that was for you, I think socially we think of our hearts when we think of Valentine's Day, we think of love. So today we're going to do a short meditation. And if you've not done a meditation before, whether you're listening live or on the replay, as Terry says, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Think
You're not gonna put me to sleep, are you, Jill? Because I get so relaxed.
no, just think of this session today as a chance to pause,
Mm.
to notice what's going on in your heart, and that might be physical, it might be emotional, and then to fill your heart up. So again, if you think, oh, I don't know how to do meditation, I'm a little bit scared of that, just take a chance on this. All you have to do is just listen to my voice, and it'll be maybe 8-10 minutes, if that.
Uh-oh, because you have a very soothing voice.
And I will bring you. I'm going to keep you a little active.
Okay.
Because this is not yoga nidra, which I usually do, which you do drift off into a different deep
Okay.
state of relaxation. This will be a little more active.
All
But
right.
I
Very
promise
good.
that, Terry, you won't go to sleep, but I'll wake you up at the end.
Thank you.
All right. And again, whether you're listening live or on the replay, thank you so much for joining. And there's nothing special you have to do. Just make sure that you're not driving or that you're not taking care of a small child, or just make sure that you can have literally just 8 to 10 minutes of some time by yourself. And you can do this sitting or laying down. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to get settled in. And as you settle in, just really hearing and listening a little bit about the heart. And some of you might connect more to your physical heart, maybe literally right now putting a hand on your heart, and maybe you can feel your heartbeat. And for some of you, you may say, okay, my hand is on my heart. I cannot feel my heartbeat. That is okay. Can you imagine your heart? And whether that's your physical heart, your emotional heart, just starting to feel, connect with, figure out your heart. As I guide you through, the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to have you notice your heart as it is. And then we'll clear out some things, and then we'll go back and notice the heart again and fill our heart up. So to start, go back to again, noticing your heart. That might be putting your hand on your heart, feeling your heartbeat. Could be counting your heartbeat. You could visualize or imagine your heart. That may mean feeling that your heart is a certain color, imagining a picture of your heart. Maybe there's memories or emotions that remind you of your heart. So if I were to say, after all of that, if I were to say, just notice your heart, see what happens. Notice your heart in any way that works for you. And as you continue to notice your heart, just imagine taking your focus deeper within your heart, whatever that means for you. Take your focus deeper into your heart. And just gently notice a few areas that maybe there's a little reaction to, or some areas that feel heavy or stiff, or you're like, oh, what is that? Just notice and continue noticing. And you might find 2 or 3 different areas, different thoughts, different emotions. You don't have to go too deep. And as you notice, it could be as subtle as, what is that? I wonder what that is. Or wow, that feels heavy, that feels tight. And then I want you to pick the one area, choose one area that you want to release or that you are ready to release. So as you scan through your heart, what was one area that feels like you can release a little bit of that tightness? And if you have found that one area, I want you to imagine releasing that area, just letting go. And it could be that you imagine a breeze coming through. It could be that you imagine that area literally like lifting, floating away. If you love sunshine, maybe you feel the sun shining on that area, warming up that area. And either that emotion, that memory, that tightness in that heart area lifts away, fades away, floats away. And you feel that area clearing. You feel that area letting go, maybe being a little bit lighter. And no worries if this is not happening for you. You can re-listen to this. And then we'll do one more round. So noticing that same area if you can. Taking your focus, your awareness a little deeper in that area. And find a way to let go of any of the tension, any of the heaviness in that area of your heart. And imagine that sensation, the emotion, the thought in that area floating away, drifting away, softening, just letting go. And just taking your time. And if you can shift your awareness a little bit, I want you to take an easy breath and a slow exhale and release that area again. Take an easy inhale. Nice, slow exhale. And clearing out that area. And then when you are ready, take your awareness to your entire heart space, whatever that looks like for you. Imagine scanning through your entire heart, maybe taking your hand to your heart. You can even move it around. And imagine your entire heart space filling up. Your entire heart space slowly filling up. With so much love. Or maybe you choose for your heart space to fill with a sense of ease. And then when you are ready, add a few words to that. And maybe you hear yourself say, or you want to say, heart, I love you. Or I love myself. If that doesn't feel right, it can be as simple as, I am taking care of my heart right now. I am taking care of my heart right now. If your hand is on your heart, see if you can feel your heartbeat. And imagine your heartbeat responding. Maybe feeling the easy rise and fall of your chest. And feeling your heartbeat, imagining your heartbeat. And now imagine keeping your heart full. We're not going to release this. We're going to keep our heart full of any lightness, any joy, any sense of well being. We're going to keep the heart full. Then, when you are ready, if you choose to, you can let your hand down if your hand was on your heart. You can start to bring awareness back to your fingers, your hands. Maybe give a gentle, gentle movement, shrug of the shoulders. Feel your hips again. And wherever your feet are, notice your feet. And if your eyes close during this session, during this process, you can gently allow your eyes to open, maybe looking first at your lap, then maybe your knees if you're sitting. And only if you're ready, then fully opening your eyes. And then notice your breath for just a little bit. Take awareness back to your breath. And then you can stretch your body a little bit if you need to, especially if you're Terry and you have to come back and end the show. If you're in the peacefulness of your own home or your own space, you can just continue to sit or lay as you listen as we wrap up the show. Knowing, however, you can keep your heart full. And any time today that you feel that you need it, any time later this week, just take your hand back to your heart or close your eyes, take your attention back to your heart. So you can access this anytime. And again, we first noticed, and then we cleared out anything that we did not want there or anything that was ready to release. And then we noticed again and filled up. We noticed what we wanted to fill up with and filled up the heart. So again, that is something that you can do on your own, almost any time and almost anywhere. So let me know if you have questions. Terry, you stayed awake.
Yes, I did. But I had help. My grandson was talking to me.
I love it.
Do you hear him?
No, I didn't hear, but I'm thinking like a child's voice, and the grandson is very new. Like even his beautiful baby sounds, because I knew he's a new baby, that
Mhm.
can fill your heart. So I'm going to say one thing and then I'm going to hand it back over to you, just because you inspired me. Sometimes people think so much that meditation or doing something with heart care, again, it's back to that perfect environment. I don't have the perfect, beautiful environment behind me, but it doesn't matter. So can you turn, like I know how much love you have for your new baby grandchild, turning his baby noises into what fills up your heart. You know, there's very loud construction noise sometimes here in Mexico or dogs barking. I can't stop that noise, but now when I hear construction noise, I'm like, either that means I'm getting to build my house or someone else is getting to build their house, someone is getting to work. And it's just that acknowledgement. I can't stop it. And so invite that in. But especially like with a baby noises to me are incredibly nourishing when it's not screaming noise and they don't need a diaper change and all of that. But thank you for sharing that, because that is real life. Like you probably incorporated your grandson's noises.
You know something? I celebrate children's voices, because when I had my children, I sat next to a woman and I was trying to shush my baby. And she said, I wish I could hear my child's voice. My child is actually deaf and dumb. He can't hear me, and I can't hear him. And after that, I've always appreciated and celebrated,
Mhm.
you know, cries, whatever's going on, because of the gift of voice.
That's amazing.
And so, to me, it may be upsetting to other people, but I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you for the gift.
And taking care of our hearts. Like this was specifically kind of more physical and emotional. But imagine, sometimes we're on airplanes and babies are crying and, people turn around and look at the mother like this. Your heart care can also be taking care of your heart and your nervous system when something is irritating you. And can you turn that irritation into taking your mind and body to a calmer state where you can kind of assess the situation? Because I know we would not give those looks to the mother of the crying child on the airplane if we took a moment and go, what's the reality? The reality is it's a baby and the baby's crying. The reality is not that mother's not or father is not making the baby cry on purpose. But if we are always in I say the right flow, right rhythm of our heart, we would literally be much more peaceful with people because we're reacting. We're reacting to noises, we're reacting to situations, and then we speak out of that. And that is something I love about where I am. It's a city called San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. People are incredibly compassionate. You see people, I don't know if they trip and fall, or you see a baby crying, or you see just something that might normally irritate people or be an alert. People respond so much here from their heart. And you just don't get that critical finger pointing. What are you doing? I don't know that I've seen I don't know that I've seen any locals here roll their eyes.
The side eye.
The
And yes.
Like you literally see a baby crying, people are like, oh, and then they go talk to the baby, you know. So again, with heart care, when you are connected to your heart and you take steps to readjust your heart and readjust your emotions, you are much, much kinder and much more appropriate with people.
This is why you are the stress whisperer. I want everyone to know how to contact you, Jill. So I'm going to share some information, and if you'll just tell us a little bit about this website.
Sure.
Hmm.
So what you're looking at now is the Insight Timer app, and I offer usually at least once a month sessions on there, and I do a live yoga nidra session, and then I have on-demand recordings, meaning anytime that you are stressed, anytime that you can't sleep, anytime that you can't remember what I just showed you, I have recordings on there, and it's all donation based. You do set up an account. But it's very easy to access, and Insight Timer is the number one free app for anxiety, stress, and for sleep. So you can join me there once a month, although this month I think, yes, I'm doing 2 sessions, and I have a session coming up this Sunday.
And I see you have something on there for children. It says kids.
Actually, that's the overall app.
Hmm.
I teach kids classes, but what you're seeing is everything that Insight Timer offers.
Okay.
And it's mainly completely free. There's a subscription-based program for some different sessions.
But if we're looking for you,
Mhm.
this is your site. I see
First,
you doing sweet surrender bread time meditation.
that's on there 24 hours. Again, if you can't sleep, 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to take a nap, you can access that recording. And then I have a live session coming up this Sunday.
Is that the rest to awaken?
Mhm.
Okay. There you go, guys. Also, we want you to know about, I'm going to remove this and share a little more about Jill. Let's see, that's Inside Timer, but here is the website.
Yes. And so on the website, I always have the most updated schedule. Sometimes I add sessions, and you can join anywhere in the world for a live session on Zoom. And then I also do private sessions. So if the time frame doesn't work, people can book a session specifically at the time that they want. When I am back in California next month, I'll be offering some live sessions as well.
Okay, well, you have to let us know when you're going to be back in the continental United States.
And there's also a little on there if we didn't talk about yoga nidra today, which we don't need to because we're focused on heart care. But there's information about that, and then I also have yoga nidra recordings on there that you can rent and listen to anytime you want. There's one priced for a 1-day use, and then I have a pricing for 2-day use, and you can literally, if you wanted to listen all day long, you're welcome to. So again, if you can't join the live sessions, the recordings are there for you on demand as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jill. We just want to say we always feel honored when we get an opportunity to spend time with the stress whisperer.
Thank you.
Oh
Have a
my gosh. Jill, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. We want to remind you guys to follow Jill. She's on Instagram. Also to take a few classes. Once you take one, I'm telling you, you'll be hooked. It's a beautiful experience for calming your chaos. Oh my gosh. So with that, we want to thank you and we want to give a shout out again to Robin. We wish her much success today. And also we want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. If you're looking to become a part of the Biz Chicks community, we would love for you to simply text Biz to 33777, or you can join us through our website at bizchicks.net. With that, we want to say have a great day. For those of you who are watching live on the replay, we send much love your way, and we want you to, like Jill said, take care of your heart. All right. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you again, Jill. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Yeah.